Charles Leclerc makes bold claim over how he differs from Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc was robbed of a victory by a faulty engine in Bahrain last weekend, and the Monegasque star is keen to bounce back in Shanghai. The 21-year-old earned a sensational move to Italian giants Ferrari after a single F1 season with Sauber, and the early signs have been extremely positive. Leclerc finished 5th in Melbourne before shocking Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas to achieve pole position in Bahrain. After a blistering start saw Leclerc build a substantial lead out in front, an engine fault forced him into a third-place finish, but his spirits remain high. "I just want to be the best possible," Leclerc said ahead of next weekend's race. "I try to focus on my weaknesses so that I can eliminate them as soon as possible. All drivers say they feel more pressure when focusing on weaknesses. To be honest with me, that's not the case. Why, but I do not know. I'm just a bit strange there." Leclerc revealed that although he is now driving for a bigger constructor in Ferrari, he is feeling relaxed about the pressure placed on his shoulders. Team boss Massia Binotto made it clear before the season started that Vettel would remain the lead driver, but early performances indicate that his teammate will hold a similar role in the not-too-distant future. Leclerc added, "Everything a size bigger, that means more people are working on even more details, and it's very impressive how methodically everything works." Former Renault driver Julian Palmer, who raced against Vettel during the 2016 and 2017 F1 seasons, has sent a warning to the German, after his embarrassing spin in Bahrain forced him down to 5th. The German came into 2019 needing to bury memories of 2018, when Ferrari had the fastest car for much of the season, Palmer said in his BBC Sport column. Vettel had it within his hands to win in a 5th world title, but a series of errors cost him that chance. But just 2 races into 2019 and the very same questions will be asked once more, and this time they will be asked louder. The feeling at Ferrari was that the 21-year-old from Monaco would probably still play second fiddle this year to Vettel, their lead driver and championship challenger for the past couple of years. But in Bahrain, Leclerc showed he is much better than a wingman driver. Next news: Sebastian Vettel warned about Charles Leclerc headache by former Renault F1 driver. That is the view of former Renault driver Julian Palmer, who raced against Vettel during the 2016 and 2017 F1 seasons. Vettel finished 4th in Australia in the first race of the season, before an embarrassing spin in Bahrain forced him into 5th. The German's Ferrari teammate, Leclerc, has impressed in his first 2 races with the Italian contractor, only missing out on victory in Bahrain due to a fault with his engine. Palmer, who was replaced by then Toro Rosso driver Carlos Sainz, has described Vettel's slip last time out as amateur and labeled Leclerc as much better than a wingman. A spin while battling with Lewis Hamilton and a weekend on which he was outpaced by his new teammate were exactly what Vettel did not need just 2 races into the new season, Palmer said in his. The German came into 2019 needing to bury memories of 2018. When Ferrari had the fastest car for much of the season. Vettel had it within his hands to win in a 5th world title, but a series of errors cost him that chance. But just 2 races into 2019 and the very same questions will be asked once more, and this time they will be asked louder. Vettel, 31, won 4 world titles with Red Bull from 2010 until 2013, but has since gone 5 full seasons without a triumph. Palmer reckons that his new Ferrari teammate Leclerc is far better than just a backup driver, and warned Vettel to be wary of his colleague. He continued, Ferrari found their feet in Bahrain and had pace on the field all weekend long. But Vettel has another headache, his teammate, Charles Leclerc. Leclerc has stepped up to replace Kimi Räikkönen, who Vettel comfortably had the measure of during their 4 years together as Ferrari teammates. The feeling at Ferrari was that the 21-year-old from Monaco would probably still play second fiddle this year to Vettel, their lead driver and championship challenger for the past couple of years. But in Bahrain, Leclerc showed he is much better than a wingman driver. Leclerc and Vettel will go head-to-head once again next weekend at the Shanghai International Circuit in China. Next news: Sebastian Vettel slammed for this amateur move during Bahrain Grand Prix. That's the view of Jolson Palmer, former driver for Renault and now BBC Radio 5 live commentator. Vettel's season went from bad to worse in Bahrain last weekend, as the German finished off the podium for the second week running. The Ferrari star finished fourth in Australia in the season opener, before slipping down to fifth in Sakir. Things started well for the four-time world champion, as he pulled away from the pack and overtook his teammate Charles Leclerc to lead from the first corner. But after a series of mistakes, he was overtaken by Leclerc again and slipped down into second. Then, as he was jostling for position with Lewis Hamilton, he made a critical error that saw him spin off the track and damage his front wing in the process. He was unable to recover properly from the spin and ended up fifth. And Palmer wrote in his column for the BBC that he felt the German star simply panicked. Vettel's spin in the race in Bahrain was amateur, Palmer. Defending from Hamilton on the run-up to turn 4, Vettel did the right thing to cover the inside. But then Hamilton swept around him with a brilliant move, throwing caution to the wind by going so late on the brakes and attacking the corner with so much speed. The move was done. Vettel then lit up the rear tires, too heavy on the throttle on the exit, and simply spun the car. He was clearly flustered by the Mercedes coming through and panicked. The spin was different to his 3 at the back end of last year because this one was on the exit of the corner, rather than on the entry or at the apex with the car squeezing him from the outside. But the reason for it seems to be the same: panic in the heat of battle. Next news: Lewis Hamilton teammate Valtteri Bottas reveals major Ferrari worry. Valtteri Bottas topped the table in the first race of the season in Australia with Lewis Hamilton coming in second. In Bahrain those positions were flipped, with Mercedes enjoying a perfect start to the season so far. Bottas currently sits 1 point ahead of Hamilton, with Ferrari's Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel in 4th and 5th positions respectively. Despite their lead, Bottas is wary of Ferrari over the next 2 races, for one reason. The Finnish driver has claimed that Ferrari could have an advantage in China and Baku. He said, "Making all the time on the straights. The next 2 races, China, Baku, it's massively long straights. I think they were making more than 4/10 only in the straight lines, in Bahrain, a lap. And we can't find 4/10 like this. We are improving the car all the time. We need to review what we can do for the straight lines, but it's going to be tough. At the end of the race of course we got lucky, but it's not only luck. We were the more reliable car than Ferrari, and that is down to very solid and hard work again by the team." Bottas has a good chance at winning his first Drivers' Championship this season, and he believes that Mercedes are a far more reliable constructor than their main rivals. He added, "Reliability is one of the key elements to win a title, and we had proper reliability that got us more points than Ferrari. We're going to the 3rd race of the year and I'm leading the championship, so it's a good place to be. We know as a team we need to work on a lot because we were clearly behind Ferrari." Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.